Hey guys, Tank here. How you doing tonight? Hope you're all well. Hopefully a couple people are going to jump into this discussion and talk about some stuff tonight. Tonight I thought I'd talk about some forums that are out there for you guys to actually um, gain some knowledge or actually share your knowledge, share your builds and share your stuff that you have. One of the biggest one that I know of is the Scale Builders Guild. So they're pretty big and pretty cool. Uh, oh, and we have Kagan that joined us.
Good morning.
Kagan,
Good afternoon. Evening.
your image is all crooked.
Better?
Okay, so I just present myself so it doesn't go away while I'm finishing introducing some of this stuff. So I want to talk about forums and also what's going on also, like Breaking Silence. Hello all. It's just in the chat room. Hi. So just talk about forums and other things that are going on in the news, like HobbyCo and a bunch of other things, or whatever you guys want to talk about. But I want to start off with the Scale Builders Guild. Basically, it's a website, and let me bring you there. Like that, you can actually see. No, that's not the right page. This is the right page. So the page for that is scalebuildersguild.com. So this page and this place was actually set up to actually help a lot of people, and it's there to actually help you guys find some stuff, or for you guys to actually share some of your stuff that you actually have. So when you get there, you can actually register and you can actually go and find some cool builds. Here are some of the builds right now: a 1984 4Runner, Ultimate FJC, a whole bunch of different ones that are out there. Also, some manufacturers, GCM Racing is on there, Knight Customs, RC 4-wheel drive, Super Shafty. There's a lot of info you guys can find here on the on this site. Here in Ottawa, we have rcottawa.com. Very nice place to find a lot of different stuff going on, clubs, forums. Some of your areas also might have a site like that. But here you find major events, different stuff. There's even some for sale stuff, things going around. Here's Kingston. So there's a bunch of stuff. So we'll go back to RC Ottawa later. But here, when we go to forums also, right now I'm logged in as the Tank. So here you can actually find some stuff. Real quick, let's go to Kagan. Kagan. Oh, Kagan's not there, but he's showing off his truck.
Sorry.
Oh, there he is. Sorry, I surprised you.
That's all right. Just organizing some stuff.
Yeah. Do you go to the Scale Builders Guild? What forums do you actually use?
I honestly don't even go on the internet.
Oh, hold on.
For Google a little bit and YouTube, and I haven't really been on any of the forums per se. I've heard of them.
Okay. Scale Builders Guild is a pretty cool one to actually go to. You don't have to spend money. You can become a member if you want. There is some privilege, but I've been in there since 2014, I think. No, 2004. I can't remember. Anyways, for a while. And I never paid a dime, and I find a lot of information there. So it's a pretty good and free forum for you to actually see. So if you want knowledge, that's a good place to go.
Okay.
So there's promotion updates. This is the talks. If you guys go there, you can find a lot of different stuff. There's always a lot of people logged on to here. Like if I go to the bottom, you see the active user, current users, who's online. So I'm actually there right now. 200 and 207 HARP is actually there also. So there's 45 members and 249 guests. So right now I'm considered as a guest. So there's a lot of people always there. You can chat with a lot of people, say hi, and there's a lot of different stuff. But if we go to the Guild's Finest real quick, and here you can find a Wrencher's. That's Earthquake. Let's see what he's got to say. So he's pretty neat because he's always got his cats in his shots. But these are some of the trucks he actually builds. And this, I believe, these are all built out of styrene, so and wood and whatever. Like there's, it's just amazing the work he does.
Yeah, it is.
But you can find a lot of help, a lot of information. Here's a Truckier pickup. So I guess he's showing up his ideas of what he's going to be doing. So you can actually find a lot of different information about some of the truck and inspiration of some guys. Here he's using the stuff, and so his build is going to start just with a sheet. It's really neat because you can really find some good ideas of, okay, how do the guys actually start this? And how do they actually use it? So basically, he just started with a piece of styrene and start cutting from there and start building from there. It's kind of really interesting. Some guys, how much talent they have, and
yeah, it's like a silhouette.
Yeah. So just another TJ.
Wow.
There's a lot of different info, but not just in builds. There's monster truck. It's not just crawlers. SMT-10, the Crusher. So here we have a monster truck build. Tony's gonna like that one.
All right. Looks like a Max T.
I'm good, guys. I see you guys chatting there in the chat. You guys want to join in? I just paste the link to join in. Let's see what they are saying. And at the same time, I can actually scroll. So I guess that's always going to paint it. Ethan says he's going to join in soon, hopefully. Bill, hi Tank. Hi, Bill. Yeah, Dazed and Confused has been hanging around the Skills Builders Guide for quite a while. If you've been to a lot of big event, they're mostly always there. There's a lot of members that are always there.
They're on the Axial sticker sheets too.
Yeah, they are. And yes, there is a Scale Builders Guild RC channel also. Right now, they're building a tank, well, a budget build.
Oh, the honcho.
Yeah. Bill Byton. Last year, he did a 2-scratch build, and I got a lot of inspiration from the RC Spark forum. That's another very good forum, RC Spark forum. I'm actually a member there also of the RC Spark. Okay. I'm actually registered, but I don't contribute much there. I'm just busy right now with work and all that. So that's his SMT truck. But there's so many other things that you can do and see on here. Here's the tech area, upgrades and how-tos. This is where you'd find some stuff there. Some chassis, suspension, if you need help with suspension or electronics. You can ask a question, leave a question, and see what other people's problems are. Here is some galleries, so you can actually post there and ask questions. There's Marketplace, and here are the different vendors that actually post some stuff, if what they have to offer. So that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Grants RC says he posts my live show on the RC Spark Spark page. Cool. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So here, if we click to, he's close by to my house, so let's click on him and see what he's posted lately. So you can actually see the last post he's been doing and since when he's been posting. So here's the front motor. He's helping out his son bringing that motor forward. So I'm not sure for which kit that was. I did not read it.
Right. Looks like a TF2 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering about this arm here, which kit that is.
Really? True.
They all were great. Let's go back to the top, see. Doesn't say.
Right.
Oh, it's Harp, 2007 Harp. That looks like a sawback, I think,
Gotcha.
with some GCM part, but that looks like the frame from it, unless it's a custom one. I don't own a sawback, so I'm not sure.
I thought Sawbacks had the silver frames.
Yeah, but this one's been painting. It was green.
Ah, gotcha.
So there's like, if you want the Viterra Twin Hammer, there's some upgrades for that. The Ascender, the pretty much any trucks. He's been doing a lot of different builds for this. So here's the bead locks. There was a sale a while back.
See, the Chinese knockoff of the Twin Hammers has a 10th scale version now.
Yeah.
It was 12th scale. Now they have the exact same thing as the Twin Hammers, I believe.
Mm-hmm. The Ascender rear leaf spring kit available. So if you have an Ascender and you want to put leaf springs on your Ascender, you can actually get this kit.
Okay.
From GCM, and it'll convert it, and now you would have leaf spring at the back of your Ascender.
Maybe that's what that truck was, an Ascender. The motor kind of looks like it's at an angle.
Yeah, but the truss towers weren't the same.
Gotcha.
Grants RC, good night. Thanks for dropping by. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to the truck to make it sit lower and have a better geometry. So it's really neat what you can do. But that's from GCM Racing. I can pick pretty much any other things. Locked Up RC, they have some cool stuff. Win a VPI Venture. What is neat is with the date, you can actually check when the last post was done, so you can actually get an up to date of what's the latest things he's actually put. Here's Locked Up RC is now on Shapeways. From some bumper mounts, body mounts. Rear shock, a little lower.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
So there's a bunch of different stuff. There's a lot of different stuff you can find on here.
Definitely have to check it out.
Yeah. And to enter here in the for sale, this is member garage shell. If I click on there, it says, "Oops, you can't access that because I'm actually not a member. It's only for member."
Gotcha.
And here, there's other stuff you can have, like vintage RC, general RC, gaming, other hobbies. So it's a forum. So there's a lot of different stuff you can find. And this is the one for RC Ottawa. So major racing events in Ottawa, different things going on. Here, dirt track, it's now closed. It was a dirt track and it's now closed. Out of town events. Circuit GC, that's in Quebec, not too far from here. Hey. Hey, Chris is here. Hey, Chris.
Hey, I'm trying to get my stuff working here.
Looks like it's working.
I
was just talking about the Scale Builders Guild and all the stuff that was there.
Cool.
And basically talking about how good information you can actually get from the forums instead of Facebook. So there's more in depth in forums than you would get in Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook or anything like that either.
Mm-hmm. So even here in RC Ottawa, there's art in for sales. A lot of it is local, so it's a nice space. So the last post was April 2nd, so a lot of stuff is very recent, so kind of cool.
Give me a second here to sort this out here.
No problem. Go back to the forums. So there's a lot of different places you can go and find even on-road builds. If you're an on-road guy, you can actually come here and actually find a lot of different stuff on-road. Here's 1/24th and 1/18th scale touring cars, BMWs, RX-7. Like there's a lot of different builds that people build. So.
Seems like a valuable resource.
Yeah. Well, guys, go have a look. It's really interesting to see what's going on. There's RC Sparks. There's RC Ottawa. There's a whole bunch of places and forums that you can actually see. So go check it out. And Chris, what's going on with you? Where are you right now?
Okay. Right now, my phone is getting bombarded by my family, who's 3 hours in the wrong time zone. I'm in Western Canada at the very bottom southern edge of Canada, in Western Canada on Victoria Island.
What are you doing there?
So on Saturday, we have the first adventure series for the GCM Adventure Series on the mainland, just in North Vancouver in Port Moody. And I'm out here. My parents actually live here in Victoria in the city, so I'm out here to visit them and have a couple of days with them. And then we had the chance to hang out a little bit and do some tourism stuff, so I can see the island and what's going on. And it's been really good. And then on Friday,
Vancouver?
Pardon me?
How far is that from Vancouver?
It's a ferry ride plus a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're down in the southeast corner of Victoria Island, just Vancouver Island, sorry, in Victoria, the city.
Okay.
And so the event is in northeast Vancouver.
Cool. Dazed and Confused RC just picked up a Tonka Winnebago, and he's asking if we have any tips for a drivetrain conversion for it.
Wow, you might.
Yeah. I'm actually building one right now, so
Be tuned.
I can show you guys in a little bit, but the chassis is on it right now. The motor is cut out for it. I'd like it to sit a little lower. I got to talk to Chris about that. I'll actually do it myself. But Chris says there's ways to actually bring the leaves down a little bit, so we might work on that. But there's also room in the cockpit, in the interior at the back. It's actually raised. So I was actually thinking of putting the chassis all the way flush and actually cutting out where the wheels would go and actually making wheel wells into it, so it would actually sit a heck of a lot lower, just because the interior is actually made for it. It's just a front, it's not, but we can always make the front. But the back, there's no problem. The two bumps for the rear wheels are there. They're not cut, so that's going to be kind of cool.
Weird.
Yeah.
So they're still out there, apparently.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that did a lot of different builds, and SCX10 is a good one that a lot of people put the chassis under the truck. A lot of those Winnebagos, the floor was all rusted, or there's so you can actually cut the floor and make the chassis go a little higher. There's a lot of different tricks you want, but I want to keep the interior as intact as possible because I want to finish the interior. I want to do that Winnebago as realistic as I can, and that's with the suspension also. So it's going to be cool. But I'm using the C-Max chassis.
Yay.
Yay, good chassis news. And here it is. There. See? C-Max. Oh, no, that's not the C-Max chassis. That's the wrong one.
What was that on?
That's for my truck there. What's it called?
HPI.
It looks like a Tamiya.
MF1, yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah. Sure, yeah.
That's my Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Tonka truck
That's
you're
for this
doing.
build.
Tonka body.
Yeah. So I'm actually, since it's really nice here, now the weather's nicer, not really nice, but that's what I was asking Chris for the magnets today.
Oh, perfect.
I don't want to drill this out.
No,
So,
no.
I'm going to cut it down a little lower so it sits lower, but I want to put the 4 magnets in here and 4 magnets on top also. So on top here and 4 magnets here. And this is the paint job that's going to go on this.
Oh, cool.
So yes, I'm going Tonka crazy.
That's cool.
But I just like this paint job. It's just crazy. And when you look at the top, I'm going to try to do the hood similar to that, and I want to try to do the top similar to that. So I've been 2 days now. I've been looking for the mask for the windows. I cannot find it, so now I'm going to have to use tape.
Yeah.
I lost my mask. So that's probably going to be painted or started painting this weekend, hopefully. So I'm going to mask it, paint all my black, and then I'll do my orange, my yellow. So it shouldn't be too bad, but it's going to be black and yellow. But on top here, I am going to cut out and like the window trim here or the window trim here at the front. I want to take the protective film out and actually use the PS55, and that's going to flatten the black. So it is going to be black under it, but it's going to be like a flat black, just like the rear canvas. This is a canvas, is going to be a flat black. So that's my plan for that truck.
Cool.
So it should be a pretty neat and cool build.
That's cool.
Yeah, nice.
You got it easy there with that body because the magnet mounting will be flat.
Yes.
Yep.
It's just where the hood is, though. There's a little step, but I'll just put more glue or whatever. What glue did you use to put on the body?
Shoe glue everything.
You just shoe glued everything? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I roughed it up a little bit and put the shoe glue on it there, and I think it'll probably stay there forever. On the what I did is I put the on yours. This is easy because it's flat. You can put the magnets on with the body upside down.
Okay.
And then you know that the magnet is in the right spot because you'll be able to see the dimple on the body there.
Yeah.
Right. And then what you can do is get that one shoe glued on real good. And then when you put the next magnet on top of it there, just put some tape in between the two. Put the magnet on the body side first and then slide the posts over top. So they go through the both magnets.
Mm-hmm.
And then put some epoxy around the back. And it only takes whatever 5 minutes, right? And then the magnet will be attached to the post. So when you separate it there, you can shoe glue the post magnet as well without it moving.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you interior or exterior painting that truck?
Interior. It's a Lexan body, so it's going to be painted on the inside. But on the outside, I am putting a matte finish on some of the black, like all the wheel well. The fenders are going to be matte. The canvas is going to be matte. Around the door, all the rubber for the doors, that's going to be matte. So I'm going to try.
I'm just thinking you're going to have to paint it and then attach your magnets, but it'd be good to mark the outside of the body where you want the magnets or something.
Oh, well, the dimples are still going to show. There's no, even if I paint it.
I understand. Yep. The factory dimple marks.
Yeah, there's little tiny bumps on it. You can see them. There's one here, so they're noticeable, and you can actually feel them. So I'm sure after I paint it, I'll still be able to see it.
Yeah, that should stick.
Body.
Yeah. Hey, we have Xavier with us.
Yes.
Hello.
Evening.
Hey.
Xavier, why don't you tell Chris where you're from again?
From Belgium.
From Belgium.
Very nice.
It's like what, 4 a.m. there right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
But I don't have to. I have 1 week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you off work?
Time for another trailer?
Yeah.
It's good.
I take 1 week vacation.
Are you building
you
another
working on
trailer
your
this
trailer?
week? Yeah.
Did you finish a trailer?
I'm just finished one trailer.
Can you show it?
Yeah, I can show it. Wait.
Oh,
I got a
surprise.
buzz cut too, looks like.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused. I started the build for the Tonka. There's not much on there right now. I still got to finish it. There's a lot of footage. So I got the drivetrain done right now. Let's go to Xavier.
Outdone yourself.
That is nice.
So all the inside is all detailed. And even the kitchen and all that, it's
wow.
Really... You and Pascal there, you got both very nice trailers going on.
Oh man, that's nice.
It's a real wood. I used all
real wood.
Butcher's block, or cutting block.
Cool. You even got a little sink there.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well done.
A lot of styrene.
Yeah. This time I used the chrome.
Ah, nice.
And then with a little window on the front. It's just make like the wheel trails. I got this also. If you want to see from these guys, I don't know, you can see it.
Green.
Yeah, Oregon Trail. Yeah.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah. He contacts me and he likes what I make, and so I decide to make another one to make her the pleasure in one thin scale. So it's just like the wheel. You can put it on it.
Wow.
And then you can open just like the wheel.
Okay.
And on the other, I have the tent You can open it, and just like this one, the kitchen on the rear, and then inside. This one is a little bit luxury. Then the other is a little bit more adventure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like I asked you on one of your forum, I think it was Instagram. I asked you, when are you going to ship it to me?
Before you have to pay.
Yeah.
No.
This would be the trailer build would be really nice to see on the Scale Builders Guild.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Put up the pictures with the way that you built it and all the finished pictures. I mean, that would be a really great place to put it.
Yeah, are you registered to the Scales Builders Guild, Xavier?
No, I have not the time because I make many comments also on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I'm so busy with my Defender. I changed it also a little bit. And then I also busy with
Because on
I
Google
watch
Plus,
Chris
on Google,
also.
yeah, on
I
Google
watch
Plus,
also
that's where you put all
Chris.
your pictures, right? On Google Plus.
Yeah, on Google Plus and on Instagram and on PP the red thing where you can only put
Pinterest?
pictures.
Pinterest?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Then I busy with the inside for the Bronco.
Oh yes.
There I see from Chris also on the video because I watching your videos also.
Cool.
I'm a big fan of you also with all the little scale stuff, and so that's really awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours was one of the first scale garages I saw.
Yeah, me too. I watch him for a long time now.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the finished products from the little van from Tank in metal, and so with the chassis from.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see the finished products.
Well, let's see if I can bring it here for a sec.
Metal, and so with the chassis from.
Might have to back up the camera though, because
I can't see anything there.
Yeah.
You want to see the other one, Chris?
Well, yeah. Show the other one real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to see the other one, Chris? Can you?
Big audio delay.
So there's the other one, Chris. It's got a roof rack.
Oh wow.
Got the gas tank. Roof rack.
Wow. That's really, really nice.
A lot of work that went into that.
Well, what type of trailer hitch do you use, Xavier?
What?
Trailer hitch to hook your truck? What type of hitch?
Hitch? I not understand what you.
How do you attach it to your truck? How do you attach?
Attached it on an aluminium frame that I make myself.
No, the front. How do you attach to the?
Attached. Yeah, that is. I don't know who you call that. Just. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, it's a pintle hook.
Yeah. Then that is the hook.
I see.
Yeah. It's a
It's
rod end.
very easy to hold it, and when it's roll over, is attached itself. You know what I mean? You take not your car with it. If your car roll over, you don't take your trailer with it.
That's good.
And that is also what's inside.
Wow. This guy made
Yeah, this is,
scale.
I definitely like a close-up
Yeah,
video. That would be
like
awesome.
perfect ones. On Belgium.
yeah, I'm going to make another one with my
Put a
son.
tent on the roof too.
You got a tent on the roof, I think, eh?
Yeah, you can open it and it's a tent, and then here you have you can open it and you have a little bash where you can put your figurine under.
Wow.
On the comments of the video, I put a link to RCVHX22. That's his YouTube channel and also his Google Plus channel. There's a lot of pictures there of the build he's been doing.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of Satarotas. I'm always from the beginning. I began with the YouTube, and I like what he's making with his hands. And the first trailer that I make is just what he make on his video, just another color. But I make it just what I make it the same thing.
Yeah. So his YouTube channel is RCVHX22. His Instagram also, and his Google Plus is the same thing.
Awesome.
Easy. Because here's
Video of him at a G6 with his TRX4 in one of those trailers. Didn't you win with one of your TRX4s in one of your trailers? A G6?
Yeah, of course, because I won the first place, the G6 in Belgium with this trailer. And
most prepared?
with the second...
What was in it? Most prepared? What was your title for the win?
It was just nothing. I just was there for making fun and challenge with the trailer. So it's to try the G6 with the trailer because I don't see much people with trailers. And then I talked to I'm going with the trailer, and I won one prize, the first prize here in Belgium, the first G6 here in Belgium with Brian.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I was in Italy the year that passed, and that was with the other trailer, and there I won the second place. But it was not just for to win something, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And there my son won also this Toyota. So yeah, that was a great time. This year I'm going back to Italy.
Yeah, bring your son too.
Yeah, of course.
He's your lucky charm. He won the raffle.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, and there comes other plans that I want to make, because I want to make another little trailer and then another little bigger one.
Didn't you say something about an Airstream?
American style, so you know the big one in chrome.
Airstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, an Airstream.
I want to like to make that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking of making an Airstream. I haven't seen it.
Little trailers with the kitchen and so inside, and that is 2 weeks. 2 weeks to make it.
2 weeks, yeah. Cool.
Every day, little bit, because you have your channel, you have to answer on questions and on comments, and then here home you are busy. So 2 weeks, and also I make other trails for friends also.
Cool.
Awesome.
But I say to these guys to give me the stuff, and when he gives me the stuff, I make it free. So it's just
it's nice
cool.
of you.
Well, here's my Winnebago. What's done?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah, those tires look great on it.
So the only thing is, like, I can still stick my finger here, and
Right.
I'd like it. And right now I'm pushing on it, but it's really hard to bring it down because the suspension is tough. It seems to be stronger in front. It's weird because all the
And
motors.
you make also the hole for the motor.
Yes, I'll show you. I'll open that up.
Those are the same leaves in the front and the back.
So right now, the motor in front is actually cut.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So the servo is actually sticking up right now.
Good.
So if I
Coming
bring it
along
down,
nicely.
you see how much it's sticking out.
Ah, good.
It's a good view.
So we'll put a 3D engine in there. Chris, I think you ordered a diesel engine.
Yeah, it's a 4BT Cummins.
Oh, cool. They put those in Jeeps a lot, don't they? The BTs?
Yeah, yeah.
So right now you can see it's leaning on the shock towers.
Yeah, that's a pretty good setup. I don't know if I would change that.
Right.
It looks good in the wheel well there, you know?
You think?
Yeah, the wheels are really nice.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
I think it'd be better if it was down here.
We can make the leaves a little softer and stuff, but I think the frame position is good.
Okay.
I know in real vehicles, like heat the springs up and it'll take some of the tension out of them and let your vehicle droop.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
People are lowering your car.
Like right now, I'm lifting one side, and right now all three wheels are still on the ground. Just now, the front is taking off. Coming off.
Me a can under that.
So that's not bad. That's like in real life, that's a lot of flex.
Yeah,
that's pretty
really
good setup.
Good.
Yeah.
So basically,
awesome.
This is the C-Max chassis. Man, this thing is heavy to lift up with one arm.
Get the interior in it.
I was lifting the whole camper with one arm. I was kind of heavy. So I decided to go with leaves in the front and also leaves at the back.
Cool.
So right now I got my shocks at the back. And I left the springs on. Maybe I'll try taking the springs off. Maybe it's going to sit better.
Oh, there you go.
Because I find it a little stiff right now. But mind you, the interior is not in it, and there's a lot of stuff we didn't put in the truck. So
yeah.
Now those springs are all the same on those shocks.
Yeah. So
Okay.
But the front seems stiffer than the rear. So I don't know why. But this transmission setup that you guys did with the C-Max, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's outstanding.
Awesome.
But from here to here, I got 100 and how much millimeter I got? Like, it's a long friggin' dry shaft. Compared to the front is very short.
You could put a transfer case in the middle of it.
I don't think I'll need to. I can get a dry shaft that long.
Right.
I think I have those.
Chris says he's got them.
Nice.
So 155.
Yeah, the one I have is 145 to 170 or something. So it's perfect.
Okay. Yep. Give you some flex.
Yeah, that should fit right on there.
I got this one, but this one fits also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't fit with your setup, I don't think.
All your outputs.
Over here. Too
It's
big.
not 5 millimeter.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is.
Because I got the set screw. Sorry. Because I got the set screw in there. That's what I'm doing.
I was going to say they're usually pretty universal. Unless it's a larger outdrive.
Cool.
Did you move your camera there? You're not in the garage.
He's just looking on the side of the garage. Looking at his tool.
I see what happened. Yeah, it's going the other direction. Yeah. The garage is a mess. He doesn't want to show it off.
Yeah, well, this is my setup when I brought it in.
There's a party at Easter time with all the chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a big party here with the chicks, yes.
Oh man.
I like the little RC race off. They look hard to control.
Ethan left a comment and says, how do you get all those chicks in your garage?
Too funny.
I'm good with chicks. Those type of chicks, anyways.
Chicks dig you. That's what you told me.
If they don't find you handsome, they'll find you handy. What's that they say from Red Green? At least they'll find you handy. If they don't find you handsome, at least they'll find you handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill says if I want to fill the wheel wells, I can always get bigger tires. These are exactly the same size as the Tonka tires. So one of the reason I got these tires is that they were 3.6 inches, and the Tonka tires were 3.66 inches. So that's the reason I went with these tires. The rim's a little bigger, but the tire size is exactly the same. That's why I wanted to keep it at the same ride height, at the same everything. So same tire size. I didn't want to have overblown tires on it and look like a monster truck.
Are you thinking mud flaps or fender flares or anything?
No, I think once we play with it, like Chris was saying, if we take the springs off and make it sit down a little lower on the leaf spring and not making it as stiff, I'm sure it's going to go down a bit. To me, maybe just a 1/4 inch. That's all I need. Would make it look a heck of a lot nicer.
For foams, you put in the tires.
Right now, it's the stock foam. It is the stock foam for these that with them with these tires, the boom racing, but they do have the hard foam, the closed cell foam. So I might order them. I don't know yet. We'll see how it sits, and I might order the foam, or Chris has a 3D printer, and we might print a bigger ring. That's what he's been doing with his truck. A 3D ring a little taller, and you just have a little bit of foam on there. So that's another idea that he's been doing. So it's been working.
You're adding a second stage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those have a nice foam though. I like those tires.
Yeah,
well, it's been sitting. It's been sitting on the camper's been sitting on it for almost a week now, and I didn't see it flattened right now, so it's not bad.
You got to get a leveling system for your camper, little jacks underneath it and stuff.
Nice.
Come on, we're gonna have hydraulics.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Hydraulics.
Those hydraulics are expensive.
You can use it for your bump outs also.
Yeah, we're gonna have hydraulics pins that are gonna come down just like a Winnebago. You know, like when you park it, you gotta.
Your awning can go up.
Yeah. So leveling system. So when you park it, you can level itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know they have those on hearses.
On which?
On a hearse at a funeral.
Hearse? Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they have a roller slide in the back, eh?
Yeah, they don't want the body coming out at some excessive speed during the funeral.
Interesting.
I was thinking of putting dualies at the back, but the problem is I can't because I don't want to extend outside the Winnebago, and right now I'm just inside, not even a 1/4 inch inside. So there's no room with this chassis to actually put dualies on it. So we were thinking of cutting the frame down, but there's just no room. So I'm not going to bother. So I'm going to keep it single wheel.
Yeah, just like the one time you did an hangout, to make a trailer with the 2 other tires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do that.
The pipe.
Use these tires for a trailer behind.
So be nice.
Yeah, do that.
Be for a toy like my Razor buggy.
Yep.
Yeah, of motorcycles.
Yeah, 2 motorcycles. Oh, like this, like this. Like these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, for little quads or so. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Here's a street. Here's a dirt bike, and I also have a quad.
Yeah.
So I can have these at the back.
You make what I make, and you put all the little box from. So just like you buy in little scale, but you put so much you can in the little trailer with all the little box you can have online. No,
All right,
Little
all the
axle
RC
box
just
or
and when you comes there, you can so buy just a little box of so. You know,
I'm sure I'm going to print some and have some inside the Winnebago.
I have all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just to glue it and to put it together. That's all. Just 10,
You could have a scale.
but I have 50, I think, no, to do. A little work.
You need little tiny GCM boxes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those ones, the chassis comes in. Those are identifiable.
You have that.
Here's
No,
the,
they're just brown cardboard. Too
You
easy.
got a sticker on it though, but
Yeah.
here's the Tonka tire. Now, somebody told me, send me your tires, and he was going to paint Tonka on my tires.
Yeah.
So maybe I got to find a way or find someone to actually write Tonka on these tires. But that's the reason I got these tires, because they're exactly the same size.
that was
You can paint the CCM on it also.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Tara to do that in a vinyl.
Side Chris and the other side CCM.
Yeah. We don't make tires yet, though, you know?
true.
GCM doesn't make tires yet. Yet, he said. What?
Just
Not yet.
rings.
Doesn't mean you can't rebrand them.
So
Yeah,
when is GCM going to come out with a IFS?
hopefully after the summer. That's already been started.
A lot of people would like that. Could do a lot with it.
Yeah.
What platforms are you coming out with it for?
It'll fit onto a C-Max, but the way that we're designing it is that there's the top of the IFS where the diff and everything bolts onto the frame. It's actually separate components, so you can switch the brackets and make it fit SCX, and switch the brackets and put it on Vitera, and it'll just be a couple of mounting brackets. So
nice.
Yeah, it should be
saw
easy.
a build on the forum that was using a Vitera sender, and they used like a Vitera twin hammers front end to make the independent front suspension. I think it might be on the Scalability Guild too.
Is that going to be a solid axle with the IFS in the front?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty neat.
We're trying to stick with the 170 millimeter wide though, which means basically we have to just make it all, because the twin hammers is quite a bit wider than that. And all of our axles and stuff, they're all at 170, 175, 166. So trying to keep the IFS small.
And right now the SCX 10 1 and 2 are how wide?
183.
183, okay.
Yeah, and Vitera is 187.
But if somebody got your stuff, they could always use hex extenders to make it a little wider.
Yeah, if you have a 170 axle and you put 8 millimeter hexes on it, then it's already pretty much the same as even Vitera. Like you're right up there. And actually a couple millimeters in difference, people don't actually notice it on the truck anyway. So
yeah, and it's
if you were going to get really finicky about it, you could make just different sets of arms that you could put on the suspension there.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, but yours is going to be 4x4, right? So it's going to be 4x4, not 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. So the IFS you're putting is going to have drivetrain and everything.
Yeah, you can still change the arms because this front shafts are sliders.
Will it be an open diff?
The one that I'm starting with is an open diff, so that means that if it survives all the testing and everything, then the chances are pretty good we get open front end.
Nice.
And then what I'm going to do is take the same differential parts and make a new rear housing for leaf springs that'll match, so that you can have an IFS front and an open diff in the back.
Oh wow!
So
yeah,
it's a bunch of messing around, but I think there's a pretty good opportunity there to make a scale truck. I don't know if you guys drove the TRX yet, but driving with open diffs is a pile of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you're just gonna put like TRX4 differentials in there. You could make it open or closed.
The TRX4 diff is actually pretty big.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep the ring and pinion gear a lot smaller than that, but I think if you have an open diff and you put some really heavy oil in it, you can probably make it almost locked anyway.
Yeah, I've seen them do that with like the SMT10s. They throw like wax in there that you'd use at the orthodontist or whatever inside of it, so it slips when it really has to. But
I think they do make
pretty much
wax
locked.
compound or something for diff too. They sell some sort of compound to do it with.
I used to put 100,000 weight diff oil in my open diff trucks, and in the big monster trucks, like the one that the tank has got there that we used to be mine. And yeah, in the big Savage.
Yeah.
And you put 100,000 weight in there, and it's the diff is so slow. It's like posi traction, you know. It's not locked at all, but it's very slow, so it makes it's almost as good, really. It's almost as good.
Okay.
My son is scared of that truck.
You should be.
Savage.
It's a beast. It's just noisy, and it's every time you start it and it just grinds. It just eats the dirt, and it's just like it's a crazy truck.
Oh, it is.
he likes more his Ferrari.
Yeah, he really likes his Ferrari. He really enjoyed that last weekend.
I
Oh,
saw
nice.
it.
You got him that. He's ready for the summer races. On. Have you picked up your PVC pipe for your race course?
I haven't picked them up yet, no. But that's another car I can actually show you guys tonight. And go get it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had known any notable downsides or advantages to like reversing the leaf spring shackles on my trail finder, because I've seen RC 4-wheel drive has a reversing kit now, and I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on that.
Is it sort of like the same as what Bauhaus did on the back? I'm trying to figure out which kit you're talking about.
It's like basically there's a piece that goes, I got my trail finder right here, but there's a piece that goes on the front of the frame rail here, and it basically just holds the leaf spring solid instead of your shackles.
Yeah.
Shackles get moved to the back.
Yeah. So the only reason that you do that is because you make the truck backwards at the beginning. I don't know why people do that. There's the swing shackles on most of the trucks that we run are swing shackles in the back. So I don't know why they put the swing shackles in the front. It doesn't really make any sense.
So do you think that would be an advantage to put them in the rear instead of the front like it comes standard?
Yeah, I don't think you'll see any change at all.
All right.
No, I really don't understand why they do that. The only thing that I can think of is that they didn't have enough room in the front for the 2 bolts for the solid leaf mount.
Yeah.
You know how they do that with the one.
It just looks like for the kit that they use another big shoulder screw like your leaf springs mount with, where they go into the chassis for the leaf spring shackles.
Oh.
And then they also utilize the hole for the cross member right behind that.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't find it on RC 4-wheel drive site, though. I had to look it up on RPP tonight.
Oh.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine that there's really any advantage to that. Or disadvantage.
Kagan is showing some flex on his picture. And there's LaFerrari.
Yeah. Really nice.
It's still shiny.
Oh yeah, he was very careful with this thing. Like he was
A wax job when he was
ready
done.
to hit it, and he did not put a scratch on it. So lots of details on this body, lots of curves, lots of dug-in stuff. The rear is like very sexy. It's actually got light buckets also. So I got to find him a cheap set of lights because there's just a rear. There's two at the front and two at the rear.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But it's really like even the full light buckets are in here.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
And also the rear. So
yeah.
Tamiya is so good, eh?
Yeah.
No, is that actually 10 scale or Tamiya scale?
That's a TTO2. So here, what I found kind of neat is that they even have a scoop on the motor.
Yeah. Look at that, eh?
Okay.
They've got a scoop on the motor to take the air, because that's a torque motor.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fast. Like my Hoonigan, it was keeping up. My Hoonigan's a little faster because it's a higher turn motor, but it was doing pretty good on the street. So I was surprised.
Nice.
So I got a Tamiya having an HPI battery. I wonder if it's going to get sick.
Yeah.
All right. Rejection.
Stop presenting. The floor is yours.
I just figured out that I can push on the pictures at the bottom and I can look at whoever I want to look at.
Right.
Yes, that's correct. Because you're actually on the chat, you can actually do that. You can select who you're watching. Even though I'm talking right now, I'm highlighted. I'm coming on because I'm speaking. You can pick a picture. And that's how I've been switching also. When I pick a picture, you see what I'm picking.
How do I put a picture on here for you guys to see that's on my phone?
If you tap it, do you have an option to on the right side for tools? The phone might not have that.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do on your cell phone. That's how I'm doing it from mine, because that's the only way I can stand it up so you guys can see.
Usually the PC, you can share a screen, but I'm not sure you can with the
Oh, I figured this out here. Hang on a minute. You have to do it in the messages or something at the bottom there.
Yeah, if you turn the screen, sometimes it gives you more options too.
Yeah, you can send a chat or something maybe, and then I can show it.
I'm in landscape, and I have options to mute my mic, hang up, or close my camera off.
I'm trying to find my picture here, so give me a second. I want to show you what I did with the TF2 in the front there. It's down here a little bit.
Did you finish playing with that red one you had at the...
Yeah, that's what I was going to put up there.
Marlin Crawler?
Marlin Crawler, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
I think it went into the comments. It's uploading. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
I don't know how you're going to see it, but it's in the comments anyway. I figured out how to do that much.
In the comments of our chat?
Yeah, Google chat.
Yeah, so if I touch on the screen and then I go back arrow,
Okay.
it shows me who's on, and I can write in comments and stuff underneath.
Okay, let me go see. Because you're probably on the Hangout chat.
Yeah,
thing.
that looks really
it
good.
is.
I can see that. I'm looking at the picture right now.
Yeah, I see that now.
What
Had to
turn
make a
motor do you
new-
have in there?
The motor is a Holmes Hobbies like $15 35 turn.
Okay.
There it is. I'm presenting it to everybody.
Chris, do you think the Mojave seat will fit in that? The RC4
Okay.
Mojave bench seat?
The Mojave which?
The bench seat they sell, RC4 wheel drive?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's still a TF2.
Okay. Yeah, I got one on order, the bench seat coming with it.
So I got my TF2 body there. I got my Mojave body kit the other day, and I couldn't believe it didn't have a seat in it.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
So
pretty bare.
I got to go find a seat now because my truck is all painted and everything, and there's no seat.
So what
You gonna
did you
try to
do?
flock it?
So on this
Yeah, probably.
Marlin crawler, you put your transmission, your motor, well, your transfer case and your motor transmission.
Yeah, well, we made a new kit, eh? We made a scale drivetrain conversion kit for TF2, and it has a new servo mount also that moves the servo all the way up to the back of the bumper mount.
Okay, I see that. Yep.
Because otherwise it's right at the motor, and then you don't really have any space to put an engine cover on it.
But this way you do.
Yeah, so we moved the servo ahead, and then there's lots of room for the motor.
Yeah. And you can stick a radiator in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hide
it
the
sits
servo.
right up against the back of the grill for the Mojave body,
Okay.
and there's lots of room in the front for the Blazer body, and I think it should fit for pretty much most trucks the way that it is there.
So you don't have the front steel bumper mounted in the tank. You didn't have it on when you were at your GCM or your meeting. The front bumper, the steel front bumper. Is there any reason for that?
Yeah, I'm lazy.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even. The front bumper still fits on there. It's the same bumper mount, but then the posts are too long, right? So you just have
Yep.
to chop them off so they don't hit the servo.
Gotcha. I have the same issue with a few of my bumpers. I need to cut down and re-drill.
Yeah. There's enough holes on the factory one to move it in all the way,
Oh, okay.
but then it's in too far.
Yeah, it's gonna hit a brace or something.
Yeah.
So if I were to take my trail finder here, what would it cost me for the whole kit? What would you estimate that out to be?
The US conversion kit is like $220 or something US.
That's not bad. It's a really nice looking transmission.
Definitely.
Yeah, so the whole drivetrain is in the kit, right? And then you get the mounts and the new servo mount with it. So you just take the stuff out and you put it in and you're done. Yeah.
And like that,
It's a
you can
lower
have
gear ratio too, eh?
Which
what
is nice
gear
for
ratio?
Marlin crawler.
Yeah.
Do you know if that's a lower gear ratio than like what the 2-speed is in high, or lower than? Do you know what the 2-speed gear ratio is? Because that's what I got in mind.
Well, the 1-speed is the same as first gear, isn't it? 2-speed is faster.
I'm not really sure which gear ratio is used in the single speed.
I'd have to look that up. I have a chart for that someplace. I know that in the 1-speed transmission, then the gear ratio is like 20% slower. And you also end up with the overdrive, of course, with our T case, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to try that too, how overdrive would do on my truck. I never had an overdrive truck.
Yeah, it'll change the way you think about turning and hill climbing and everything. It's a very subtle change, but what you start to figure out real fast is the truck starts to drive like a much smaller wheelbase. It turns better and it climbs better and it downhills better, and you don't really understand why, but it's just a mechanical thing, right? Because the wheels aren't pushing anymore in the front.
I'm trying to look for it right now online to see if they talk about it.
On the ratio?
Yeah.
Have you worked with any gear reduction units yet, Chris?
Yeah, I used some of those before, and I kind of got out of it because they're always seem to be too long in the wrong place. Like you can, when you put a GRU on, it's another inch on the front of the motor can, you know?
Yeah.
And if you get a really low gear, like a 20-to-1 or something, and then you put it right onto the transfer case, then you basically get rid of all your drag brake selection because the motor's even off. It's like off or on, right? There's so much reduction there that you can't use a variable rate.
I see.
It's like worm gears.
I gotcha.
So what's your gear ratio? I found the first gear for the TF2 is 3.47 and second gear is 1.27.
Yeah, so then the first gear is the same in the Marlin as it is in the TF2 two-speed.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, in second gear, my truck used to haul. When I had a 35 turning here, this thing could really go.
Yeah.
And what's your gear ratio in your transmission, or should I look that up too?
The transmission and transfer case from us is 14.3. So you're not using the spur. So the transmission that comes from the TF2 from the motor to the axle output is, I think, about 10.5. And the RC four-wheel drive scale transmission is also 10.5. And ours is 14.3. So it's already significantly slower. And then the overdrive in the front puts it up 11%.
Cool.
In the front. So nice. When you put that on a TF2, you get like a 14, and I think it's 3 something. So you get like 30 something to 1 at the wheel.
Okay.
Which is a nice ratio for crawling with like a regular, 35 turn motor or whatever. So if you end up with a final drive that's right around there, it's usually pretty nice to drive.
Good.
Frank, something I noticed on when I was shopping for that truck was that with the RC four-wheel drive bodies, some of them say LB something like light body LBC light body kit or something. Is that what that stands for? Is that why some of them are more transparent than the other ones? Some of them are lighter.
Long wheelbase, maybe LWB.
Okay. Yeah, some of them are 4-door. The other ones are just a regular 2-door truck.
Yeah.
I thought it was lightweight body. My bad.
Yeah, it's for the 12.3 wheelbase because the TF2 doesn't have any adjustment on it for wheelbase.
I see.
So it's actually a different frame rail.
Right.
And then they have a short wheelbase one too, which I think is like 10.5 inches or something long, is it?
I thought it was like the wheelbase on this was like 11.3, comparable to like the SCX10 Dingo, because I got the Dingo and this, and they're about the same wheelbase. I think that's like 11.3.
Yeah, there's the regular wheelbase, which is the original TF2, which is 11.3, and then you have the SW for short wheelbase, and then you got the LW for long wheelbase.
Okay, it's good to know. Getting into
the short wheelbase is usually like those the YJ bodies. Is that right? That they sell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some nasty drive shaft angles on the short wheelbase trucks.
I bet.
Yeah.
Good luck getting MIPs on those.
Hey, good evening, Gem and RC. There's a bunch of people that are chatting on the side of the chat there. Gem and RC's here. Bill Byton also there. Eric RC went to bed. So good night. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I'm in the West Coast here now, so it's only 7:45.
10:46 here. In Belgium.
On the West Coast for there's some event going on right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing a adventure series over here in the West Coast on Saturday.
Oh, all right.
Did you have to do any setup for that, or there's a bunch of people doing the setup?
Yeah, Friday afternoon I have to go in and make all the trails and do all that stuff.
Okay, so that's tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
I remember one of your videos you're doing more on the west coast of Canada this year, and
yeah, and Calgary series is on again this year in the Midwest, and then we're doing an adventure series in July in Calgary.
Cool.
Are you going to New Brunswick this year?
No.
Nova Scotia or anything like that? In the
No.
End? No?
No, not for East Canada.
Okay.
We have the first one is this one, which is at Port Moody, BC. And then the next one is the end of May in Ontario. And then it's Calgary in July and North Carolina in October.
Cool. So right now there's 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 4. There's only going to be 4.
Well, that's enough, because that's a lot of traveling for you, and a lot of prepping and a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
That's only 4. We're doing 13 events this year, so that's only 4 of them.
Okay.
That's 4 adventure series, yes. But what are the other events? You're doing other events that are not adventure series. That's what you mean.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So we're going to the KNK TTC number 5 in Ohio at the beginning of June.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to Beat the Creek at Joe Hawk's farm, which is in Ohio. It's like Cincinnati area there.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to that, which is the beginning of May. I'm in Tennessee for the Bronco Festival in another 10 days from now.
Wow.
We have, I'm trying to remember them all. There's another one in June, going to Michigan in the middle of July.
Where are you coming in Michigan?
We're going to, I'm going to find out. Just let me swipe around here for a second and I'll tell you where it is.
All right.
Okay.
I should be able to figure this out here. The guys in Michigan they're just south of Detroit, south and west a little bit of Detroit.
Oh, all right.
Like Flint, where the water quality is so high. Don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah, so I can find the event here. There should be a link for it. And have you guys ever heard of Lawn Dart Motorsports?
Lawn dart?
They jump off ramps nose first?
No. I don't know why they called it Lawn Dart Motorsports, but there's a guy that has an RC park in central Michigan there, central east Michigan. And it's called Walter RC Park.
Okay.
It's in Saranac, Michigan.
Hmm.
So that's on in the middle of the month in July. And he's got a huge, big flying field there. He's got a rock crawling course and an SC truck buggy off-road course, big G6 thing in the bush, and a man-made crawl course out in the front, and all kinds of grandstands. And it's like an actual like RC park in the back of his farm. So
nice.
Very cool.
Those are cool, and they set up and put signs up and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, eh?
Yep.
So he's got an event on that weekend for airplanes, and so he said, "Oh yeah, you guys want to do something? Then great." And he has camping on site and stuff. So they called it the Michigan guys called it the Michigan Camp and Crawl.
RC festival in Ohio in the summer too. It's called RC Fest or something at a big airport. With crawling and everything too. I don't know if it's the same time you're going to be in the area or not, but
cool. Yeah, there's a lot going on down there in those northern states there. There's an awful pile of people that are doing RC over there, so of all different kinds.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Seems like in West Michigan we get a lot of flyers, but I'll be getting my license this summer, so maybe I'll go explore a little bit.
Yeah, I think you better.
Right.
That'd be cool.
You interested in planes or drones or quadcopters,
Well,
whatever you want to
I'm
call
not a big flyer myself. I think the planes are really cool. I think I'd just be crashing a lot.
Yeah,
I like the trucks though. I'm heavy into the trucks and the 4x4s. You know, anything I can get my hands on.
Right.
Cool. John Martin in the chat is saying that he just finished installing the 4-link in the rear of his TF2.
Oh yeah, I ran that for a while. I thought that was really good. The flex on that was insane.
Yeah, but I find too much flex sometimes can put you in trouble. It all depends where you drive or what you do with it.
Yeah, I put mine back to the regular leaf springs because I went back to this kind of work truck look, but I'm trying to deal that out right now.
And we have Dante that joined us.
Yes, thanks for the link. Thanks for adding me. For some reason, the link wasn't working for me, but it was probably just my phone.
No problem. I should make an email list of all the people that wants to join weekly. Like that, I can send a link to everybody in one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you made a mailing list just telling us what the topic was for the week and then just send us the link when you went live, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm often busy, but I love the link. I'd love to be on that list, you know?
Good plan.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to show you guys what I'm working on, but I've kind of had a hard point to see it. I've been always playing with the back struts. I cut my axle more narrow, and I didn't have room for the struts, so I wanted them to run along the frame, you know, this way instead of this way, and you know, and then have a little arm that teeters back and forth. And I just made a little prototype here. I'm trying to see. I don't even know if I can get it on camera. It was actually really smooth. I was really happy with it. The only problem is it didn't have the output, and I actually lost a lot of mobility, I suppose you could say. Shoot, I don't even have it good enough to show you, but let's see here. That right there. So this can rock up and down, but I don't know. You'll see it in the coming weeks.
Cool. So which chassis frame you running on that?
Trailfinder 2.
Trailfinder 2, okay.
And you're running all links, right?
Yep. Just as of recently. I know the front is night and day. Love it. And I just today I bought a new set of springs, you know, from RC 4-wheel drive. So there's 4 different sizes. And I put just one stiffer in the front literally just now, down, and now I got a little bit left. Actually, I only have one side in, but now it should be about right. So cool. I'm pretty excited, actually. It's pretty cheap and should make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what you're making is a type of cantilever, right? So what you're trying to make at the back?
Sounds like it. It's like cantilever suspension.
What's that?
Dante, you're trying to make a cantilever
system?
Yeah. Eliminate the shock hoops.
Okay.
The new Trax UDR has some pretty interesting cantilever rear shocks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that setup.
Yeah, I'll have.
Arc shows it.
Yeah, I'll look forward to showing you guys when I get mine done.
Yeah. Which setup are you talking about, Kagan? Who?
On the new Traxxas Ultimate Desert Racer, the rear shocks are done with a cantilever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The shocks are cantilevered on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they are cantilevered.
I thought they were just straight up and down, like on the trailing arms.
They're on the trailing arms, but at the top there's
the chassis at the back. You actually see them coming up the chassis at the back.
Yeah, through the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes over it pretty well. Some detail they sent him one.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed something on my son's Ferrari. The tires, they're all glued, but there's actually no foam. I don't think there's any foam in the tires. It's an expert build, and they don't even put bearings or foam in the tires, but it's expert build. I don't know. The wiring looks nice.
Ready for upgrades.
Nice job.
Exactly. It's the RFU instead of the RTR. It's ready for upgrades.
Ready for upgrades. I got another TO2, and that one I put a 7.5 brushless centered motor on it. That thing is stupid fast. It's fun.
That's crazy.
I got a short video of it, and I got to do the editing and put it, and like we're going up and down with it at my brother's house. It was kind of neat. Pretty stable. I just put bearings in it because I was afraid of blowing the little plastic bushings out.
Yeah. Everything gets pretty wobbly with those really fast.
Yeah. So how long
What's
you
the
been in?
bumper? Dante keeps showing off his front bumper there, and I'm trying to figure out what it's from.
What's your
I hope you guys can hear me all right. My phone has been really laggy today, but it's just the, oh shoot, I don't know what you'd call it. I think it's the worn front bumper.
Okay.
Looks like it has lamps in the side. It's got fog lights or something in it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah, I
good.
like it. I haven't fully
Yeah, I like those.
I've
I
got,
haven't
like, the
fully hooked it
earlier
up
version
yet
of your
for all
bumper.
lights, but
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
I like it
that's a
too.
metal
Yeah, I
bumper
like
you
it.
got?
I got basically like the earlier version of that before they had it with the bull bar or any of the worn stuff. This thing's a
Cool.
beast. It's super heavy, basically machined out of
Oh, yeah.
solid aluminum.
Wow.
And I just made this winch for it here that mounts on the frame.
That's a beast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I saw pictures
I'm
of
hoping
that.
it'll pull this thing.
Because you used a small motor also for the winch, right?
Yeah, I basically used components from my RC four-wheel drive Bulldog winch. I got all the footage shot, so hopefully I'll be able to make a video for it. But this is my old Bulldog winch when RC four-wheel drive used to sell these before they started making the worn ones.
Yeah.
And I think
Yep, I got one of those.
Still, but I used the spool for it, the brass bushing that goes on the end of the spool, and then the motor. It's basically machined like the square that was in the casing, so it'll slide in there, and then the grub screw locks it down, so this motor won't go anywhere. There's no play in it at all. And then I tap this block right here with the bushing in it, so I can still get the spool out, and then it just mounts where you can put a servo sideways in the frame there.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my project for last week. I also used the fair lead for it in the front, and I made this machine piece of aluminum here, and I tapped into it with a 2.5 millimeter tap, so that I can keep this mounting plate in the fair lead mount of the bumper.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of creativity.
So that was a fun project.
Cool.
I think I showed it last week, but if you guys didn't see it, they have these little rubber stoppers for your winches from Gearhead. I haven't used it yet. But save you, winch saver or whatever you call them. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just put
Part
that.
number 1153.
Cool.
Is that for like between your fair lead and your hooks? You don't mash them up against each other.
Exactly. Yep, and it's supposedly scale. It's from Factor 55 Precision Engineering, official license.
Yeah, I've heard of that one before.
Jammin RC is saying excellent work with that winch.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Of course.
And then what type of rope did you use on it? The RC four-wheel drive rope? Or?
I just used some old synthetic rope that I had from RC four-wheel drive, yeah. I still have a bunch of it laying around back when I got rid of the steel cable off the Bulldog winch. That stuff was such a pain to use. Every time you'd unspool it, it'd kind of like wrap up like it wanted to be back on the spool again.
Yeah.
Right.
Good old days, right?
I've heard fishing line's not a great idea either. Monofilament line, anyway.
No, not the mono. I use a 200-pound braid for mine from it's it's a multi-strand. I think it's probably like a 20-strand braid.
Okay.
But the fishing line doesn't hold its shape. So when you spool it out, it just sits there straight. It's really nice.
Okay.
Cool.
And you guys have one of those really big RC four-wheel drive winches. They're like $100.
Yeah, it's
big
the
worn ones.
8274, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like that?
I haven't used it yet. Looks nice.
I've been using the SSD version when they used to make that, whatever they called it. I forget.
They don't make that anymore?
No, they quit making it. But that's the one that I have on my FJ40 Cruiser build.
Now, is that the same thing as RC four-wheel drive makes? Because they look like basically the exact same one. Does RC four-wheel drive just rebrand that, or how's that all work?
Well, the guy that runs SSD, he actually designed it like 7 years ago when he used to work for RC four-wheel drive, and they never put the winch out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
until he left and then put it out.
So he finally put it out because they weren't gonna. And then like literally a month after, theirs came out and it was exactly his design. So the winches are identical.
Yeah, because I saw SSD.
For a company, though, they can take your ideas when you're working for them.
Oh,
Well, that's just it.
Read your contract.
Well, he had no contract with them. So, I mean, all of his designs are still owned by him.
That's sketchy then.
Yeah, the whole thing was pretty weird. Pretty weird.
Now, I also heard I was on the Scale Builders Guild, and there was a guy with a little chainsaw, and people were saying that it was the old RC four-wheel drive steel one, and that they took it off their website because they had some licensing issues with it. I saw they got a chainsaw back on their website today, but it's a slicer, but it looks like steel colors. I was just wondering if you heard anything about that.
Is it orange and gray, or?
I know that
it's like steel colors. It's steel colors, but it's like an exact replica, except it says slicer and not steel.
Sounds like a Chinese knockoff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to me that any of the full-size companies would get upset about making tiny models of their product. I mean, isn't that the perfect way to promote their company?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I would be glad if I was one of those larger companies and somebody wanted to make a replica of it, I guess it just shows how much influence you have on the world around you, I guess.
I didn't realize patents covered any scale either.
Yeah, it is free advertising for them, but I think what they're afraid of is that if you have a company like Still, and Still is a very good company, they're thinking that you're marketing using their name and selling their not their product, but you're selling their name and using their name to promote your product. That's what I think they're scared of more than but I don't think they're thinking of the marketing that it could actually bring them.
Right.
Me on my RC channel, I talk about GCM racing all the time, and I show off his product. He's not suing me. He's not pursuing me. So.
That guy's just stuck in a snowbank, though. He can't do anything.
Bill Byton is saying good night, all. So, good night, Bill. Thanks for dropping by.
See you.
Bye, Bill.
I have to get the tank to come over more often there so I have time to go drive some trucks.
Hey, you're nice to let him beat on your truck.
Yeah. I heard you let him take out your new Bronco, and he went ahead and rolled it through the mud for you.
Oh, that was his FJ.
He was driving the FJ. I had no idea what he was trying to do there, but it looked like he was trying to make it fly all the way to the next county.
I want to see if it handled pretty good. And it did pretty good, but
testing it like Tony would.
Yeah. I was waiting for the driver and passenger to come flying out there because the truck was just bucking around. I was like just bouncing all over the place.
Well, it landed on its side a couple times. It wasn't that bad.
It's the on the YouTube video there that I put up, it's the thumbnail that YouTube picked all by itself is the truck halfway rolling down that rock.
Okay.
I didn't put the thumbnail on there. I just let the video load, and then I went and looked at which ones they picked for me, and the middle one was the truck half off the rock. It's like the perfect one.
Nice.
Cool.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
The picture of Rob's Chevy pickup truck bouncing around on a Jeep on the beach like a bucking Bronco. That
Oh,
video
yeah.
you have, that's pretty funny too.
Yeah,
It's
that
probably
was
the
a
most torque
G6.
I've seen in. Yeah, that was crazy.
That thing, like he wanted it to go fast. I guess he planned on beating on it. And after he was done, he realized that it was like uncontrollable. Like even in the video that we took of it doing the beach jumping and stuff, it's at 50% throttle.
Oh my gosh, must torque
Oh
twist
yeah.
straighten the frame every time you drive it. Put it on the
Yeah, he's blown the tires off the bead locks like 3 or 4 times, eh?
Oh yeah.
He needs
Yeah.
those solid rubber tires like on a forklift.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So he actually took the power system out of it there this last week, and he put that whole power system into the twin hammers, and he put I think 35 turn brushed or no, it's Holmes Crawlmaster in it.
That's actually an idea, Chris. Make some 3D print some tires that are like those. Have you ever seen the tires they put on forklifts that are all solid rubber with holes through them?
Yeah,
Side to
yeah.
side?
You could start making like the Michelin tweel, that you see on the zero
exactly.
turns and the skid steers.
Yep. That would be awesome.
I'm
That'd be
starting to
crazy.
work. I'm starting to work the beat off these tires. That's 45 turn. It just tears through everything.
Crazy.
Couple more years, and I might be able to pull these right off.
I've seen people running them with 2 screws in them, and they're still holding together somehow.
Yeah. Mine's just like a real truck. You lose a stud every once in a while, and I might be missing a couple nuts there, but they're still getting rusty too.
They won't come off as easy then.
You just changed the shock towers on the back of that?
Me, I just pulled the bed off. I have the RC 4-wheel drive shock towers, so I don't have any cross members really in the back right now. I'll show you here. These little RC 4-wheel drive ones they sell.
Oh, I see.
I put them in when I did the rear links because the geometry with the links and where the shock's mounted, it was just all binding up really bad. So I got these, and I've been pretty happy with them since.
Good.
Have you guys ever tried putting Wraith links on an SEX10?
No.
Putting what?
They actually do fit. The other weekend,
Really?
Tank and I were on a Saturday, and I started messing around with it. It makes the geometry kind of crazy, like the front
Oh,
pumpkins
right.
at quite a
Right.
downward angle.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it does work. I changed the braces around, and I got a really nice low battery mount in there. It's right down with the frame. I had an extra rear chassis brace and moved it up to the front.
Cool.
Just took a bunch of extra SEX10 parts I had swapped out on another one and changed to aluminum parts and put it all over it.
Yep.
Cool.
Wraith shocks.
Yep.
And it fits the XL tires pretty well on the deadbolt body.
So, Chris, the Team Raffi links I was talking to you about.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are this is the bag. There's 5 of these long links. So they're very long tube, and then you have a M4 440 screw, and then you have a tube. So it's all aluminum, and it's pretty heavy.
Now, have you tried cutting those yet, Frank?
No, I haven't. I haven't tried it yet. I've been too busy with the Winnebago. Last weekend, my son were doing some on-road stuff. So, but I am planning on doing some links to put on my son's Jeep, which is the Cross Canyon, the upper links, with these, and also the upper links for my SEX10. So, but I'll be using
Nice.
my Dremel.
Okay, Dremel. I was wondering.
Cool.
Those look handy.
Do you have something for links to make links, or what do you use to make links?
I use threaded rod and aluminum tubing.
Okay, and you, Chris, what do you use?
I use a piece of stainless rod and I just cut them to length and thread the ends. So it's one piece of rod, that's it.
So you actually use
Yeah, we use a die.
a die?
If I need 90 millimeter link or whatever, I just cut it to 90 and then I stick it in the lathe and put the die on it and I'm done.
Okay.
Do you recommend any sort of ball ends? You go with Revo rod ends, like everybody says.
No, we actually made our own. We got our own rod end, so they take the 3 millimeter thread, and it's like really tight. Like you can ask Tank there because I think you tried to get your steering rods together there, and they go in pretty strong, eh?
Yep.
And then the ball end is not axial size; it's actually Traxxas size, so it's narrower than the axial ball.
I see. Yeah. Okay, they're the narrow ones. Gotcha.
Yeah, the narrow ones. Yeah, so they fit into all of our axles and stuff the way that's set up.
So this is.
Yeah, that's the way I do it right there.
Okay.
So
Now, what
links
type of
are
plastic is?
And these are 3 millimeter rods, or
Yeah.
what size are those?
Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool.
And the plastic is a sort of an ABS nylon mix.
Okay. And what size of rod is that?
3 millimeter, yeah.
It is a 3 millimeter?
Yeah, I think it's actually 1/8, but they're almost the same.
Okay, and what die do you use to do your thread?
M3.
M3?
Yeah.
Handy.
Yeah, we
Anybody
got
ever-
away. We used to make solid aluminum links, eh? Like they were tube, and then we threaded them with an M4 set screw, and then put the Revo ends on them.
Yeah.
And I started running into problems with the need for some more adjustability than that. Like you'd make them up for all the skeleton kits and everything. They used to be all that solid aluminum tube, but then one time I switched the truck from a class 2 to a class 1, and I wanted to bring the wheel ahead a little bit to match into a new body so it fit in the wheel well better. And I only needed to move it like a couple millimeters, but then I had to take all the links apart, cut the tube off, fix the thread, blah, blah. It was just too much work. So on the steering, I was using the small 3 millimeter rod in the front because it looks more accurate for the size on the steering rods. And then I thought, why don't I just use the same steering rod for the links underneath? And then that's it. We just changed them all after time. And now they're all just stainless and that's it. No more cutting and whatever. If you want to make a small change on something, you can just turn it a couple turns and it's fine.
Okay.
Cool.
These links that I did for the steering links on those, I put a double wall heat shrink on the outside. It's kind of a smooth plastic than a lot of heat shrinks. It works pretty good. It goes over stuff all right, better than the aluminum tubing would.
Yeah, and it looks sharp, eh? It looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We have Outback Jack that's asking for the link. He might be joining us.
Killer. Long time no see.
From Australia.
I think I'm going to sign off. I got to build a whole bunch of flags before tomorrow, and we're going to be in the car for 3 hours going inland.
Cool.
So I need to get that done tonight.
Thank you a lot for joining in, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Chris.
Yeah, that was nice. It's good. Thanks for the invite, and it's good to see all you guys there. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, eh?
Have a good
Bye,
one.
Chris.
Bye-bye.
You.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I sent him a text this afternoon and asked him, do you want to join in? I'm going to be talking about the Scale Builders Guild, and I know he's pretty big in there with everybody, so he said, yeah, send me the link, and if I can, I'll join, because he was very busy doing all kind of stuff, so.
Cool.
That's nice.
It's nice. It's nice of having him there.
Yeah.
especially with his busy schedule. I'm trying to answer all the questions and reading the comments and responding. It's fun.
Thank. Have you a deadline on your camper?
Pardon me?
And deadline. You have a deadline when
A
you
deadline?
finish it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's a soft deadline.
It's a very, I want to get it done as soon as possible. I am trying to get some guys here to help me out locally, like designing the interior. I'll show you real quick the interior.
Mhm.
But the interior is all apart right now. So
Okay.
everything is apart.
Mhm.
And like I was saying, for the back, there is some, like if ever, like it's all, this is where the two wheels go at the back. So I could have
Okay.
cut it up and send it up. But what I want to do for the, because all these come apart, the fridge is missing a door. The table needs to be refinished. The walls need to be refinished. I need some kind of a wood finish. Has to be painted.
Mhm.
The couch, I want to put like a material on the couch. I want to put like something on the floor. I'm not that crafty, but there is some people here in Ottawa that are, and I've asked them to see if I would pay for the material, and to see if they could actually do the work, and I would credit them for it. So I'm waiting for his
Okay.
response. So if not, then I'll do
Yeah,
it.
of
It
course.
won't be as nice, but
Yeah.
but at least I have the whole interior. But here in the front, we're going to be probably changing the two seats to two smaller ones like this, because the front cap here where the motor is, that's going to be removable, so that we're going to be able to see the motor. So
yeah, so you can show the motor.
yeah. So the seat, you're going to remove the seat and then remove the cap, and then you'll see the motor.
Awesome.
So everything right now lines up pretty good with the rear, so right where this this line is. So everything should be fine. So should be neat.
Yeah.
This needs to be cleaned and need to be finished. I want the sink
Yeah,
to
I'm
look
curious.
nice.
That looks really good.
What was that? Somebody was trying to say something.
I thought he said it looks
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Yeah, I did. Hey guys, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna log out and log back in for a bit, okay?
no problem. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, Outback Jack is asking me, or telling me on the thing, don't you think you meant to say the guide instead of guild? And then I sent them the link to the Skilled Builders Guild, and he goes, he's saying he still thinks it's guide. It should be guide, but it's not guide. It's a guild. So
That was in my history textbook once, the definition of guild, and I was like, oh, that's what that means.
and why don't you explain to us what the definition of guild is?
Like apprenticeship.
All right, so it's been a few months, but I believe it was a group of workers in the same line of work that would come together to help keep quality control together, like sort of at the same level, and they'd also kind of try and keep prices sort of at the same level, so that they weren't in so much competition. They were kind of working together to all get work, if that makes sense. Kind of helping each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's the exact definition, but that's how I remembered it.
They wouldn't underbid each other. Sounds like
yeah. It's a group. A guild is a group of people sharing resources, sharing ideas, thoughts, all together to work together for the same purpose and all that. So. And somebody's asking me a question here. Okay.
Hopefully you guys can hear me now. I got a different phone out that I'm running from, so.
Yep, loud and clear.
Yeah, we can hear.
All my phones are getting a little old. I got a Note 2 and a Note 3, and both of them don't. I'm due for an upgrade. They've seen better days.
Now, you don't need the newest thing, but maybe a little
Right.
bit newer.
So I plugged in my old phone, and the Note 2 is coming through here. I think it's working all right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, this is just an iPhone 5S. 5 generations behind.
Right about the time you get caught up with the latest cell phone, seems like they already got another one coming out. So
yeah, I gave up on
that's true.
to have the newest electronics.
I wouldn't try being current and everything.
Yep.
I have. I received an email today from. Man, it was from a hobby store. Omni Models. Did you guys get an email from Omni Models? I don't know if
I never worked with them, so I haven't gotten one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're
I got one
saying
from
that
Axial. I got one from Axial regarding the sale of Hobbyco, though.
Okay, that's probably close to the same thing, yeah. So they're asking if, because I guess your mailing list, and because that's a question from Breaking Silence, he's saying that he received an email from Hobbyco, and it's basically the same email as me. Those companies basically owns the right of your mailing list. They're saying that your mailing list is about to be sent to the new owner of to Horizon Hobby. So they're saying if you don't want your email to go to Horizon Hobby, unsubscribe from us, because your email is now bought by them, and that sale is going to be done soon. So that's basically what that email stipulates. So if you don't want Horizon Hobby to have your email and send you info, opt out. So
it's a disclaimer, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I received the same email today on a couple different sites that I'm actually subscribed, and that's all it says. So they can have my email. They can send me junk. If I don't want it, I'll unsubscribe later.
As long as they put out the right RC stuff.
Yeah. So Jamin RC says he needs help doing some wheel wells cheap.
Tape?
Well, ask him here if he'll check out my channel. I'll show him what I've done for wheel wells. It's not the easiest thing, but I think it came out really well.
Wheelie well?
Wheelie well?
Really?
I got to do something too, because when I made my axles more narrow, the RC four-wheel drive wheel wells don't fit anymore because it rubs.
Yeah, I don't like buying wheel wells. I like making them. They suit my trucks. I got too much crap different.
My friend made some really good ones with I think he used Gorilla Tape, and they actually hold up pretty good to water and everything.
So here's what I did here. The truck's kind of dirty. My buddy and I took it out wheeling. But this is what I got. It's basically a side plate here that bolts up against your shock tower. So it's in between where the shock and the shock tower go. And it just follows the frame rail. I just made a template out of cardboard and then traced it onto the styrene. You don't have to use styrene. You could really just use any plastic you wanted. But I've also overlaid a piece of plastic on the inside that goes to a set of trays on the bottom that sit inside of my honcho body. And then as you can see, there's another piece that comes off of this backing plate here. So the dirt can't really get in here, but it's two separate pieces. So if I need to get the shocks or the frame, I just remove this front piece, or if I need to get this tray off, I can also remove the tray from the 2 holes that go onto the rock sliders. So
That's nice. I like that.
Was that like
It fits
3 mil?
really nice inside of the honcho body.
Cool.
What thickness is that?
This styrene, I believe it's 2 millimeter. It's really thick stuff. I really like it.
Right.
If you just look for it online, you can get it in bulk sheets, really cheap actually. The hobby shops around me sell it for pretty expensive for the size sheets you get.
Yep.
But I don't have any tops on those because I haven't really had any issues with that. But if you want to keep more out, you can put a top on it. And as you can see in here, it kind of keeps everything out. And then
looks clean too.
The trays follow inside of here. I was going to paint them, but I never really got to it yet.
Cool.
Nice.
Now,
Thank you.
here's what I did with my SCX 10-2. I use Ziploc containers.
Yeah,
And
I've seen that too.
basically,
That looks good.
This is what I did with mine. Is
Nice.
I just took the container, cut the container in half, a little bit more than half. So, and then I painted them black, cut the lip off of it. And then when I put it on the truck, I put the body on it. And as I was checking, I was trimming it. And you can see where the lid is. This is the cheapest way. But the only thing is, I got in deep trouble from my wife because she counts the fucking little pots like this. She goes, I'm missing my pots. Where are they? They're on my truck. So I went to the supermarket and I got her a pack of 4. So here, I took 1, you get 4. So, but it's very
That's
easy, very cheap. These, I believe, are like the 4 inches. They're 4 inches by 4 inches.
Okay.
They are square, but by the time you cut them, it looks like a real wheel well, and they're very easy to make. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really simple. And for the front, it ended up the same thing, but except I had to cut out a lot of the front here for the light buckets.
Oh,
So, but the fronts are still on mine. I took the rear off because I turned mine into a honcho, and a honcho with wheel wells didn't look good.
right. Yeah, Jeep poncho. Not many of those out there.
Yeah, Jeep honcho, yeah.
You guys
I know.
at
I
all
want to do
interested-
more. Excuse me. You talk.
I was just wondering if anybody was interested in what the new Jeep trucks are going to look like, because I know those are supposed to be coming out eventually now.
Well, there's a guy close to my house. He posted some pictures of the new Jeeps, the new pickup, and the new stuff from the car show that he went to see.
Nice.
You're talking full scale.
Yeah, full
Yeah.
scale Jeep.
Okay.
Thought I did a design like the front bumper. You can remove the edges of it. That's pretty cool. Make it a stinger bumper, or so your tires.
Cool.
Can't find that
Yeah, you
picture
could
from-
remove the edges on the old, on the JK Rubicons too, on that Hard Rock package or whatever.
Gotcha.
That's nice. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I'm looking through my history, but I watch at so much videos there. It's hard to find the friggin' videos again. Oh, I see the video that Chris was saying with the thumbnail, that he saw the thumbnail. It's funny. Show you guys real quick. So there's the thumbnail of the video here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it draws you
The
in.
Jeep.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
So
Gotta love it when YouTube picks the perfect thumbnail for you.
yeah.
There's probably a guy at a desk
Truck.
sitting there picking them.
At least I was giving it a good test run.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Heck,
Maybe
you
he
guys-
ought to start paying you as an official product tester.
Yeah. Oh, he's nice enough
Let's-
to me. It's not bad.
Let's see what this Winnebago can do. Are we gonna try and jump this thing, or What kind of tests do you have planned?
Oh, I'll make a jump for sure.
Some 5-point harnesses in the seat. Roll cage. Bar. Parachute off the back.
No, it won't have rebars though.
No.
So Net Cruiser RC, he's the one that has a bunch of videos out there for the car show. Now where's the new Jeep Wrangler LJ. So let me put the link in the description like that you guys can actually see it all. Copy. So let me post that. I lost my chat. That was weird. So here's there in this chat, and then I'll put it in this chat also, the link for that video, so you guys can actually see it later.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah.
We'll definitely take a look.
Yeah, don't look at it now. We are having a discussion and talking about it. People that are chatting, yes, they can, but us in the live video, it's kind of sad when you hear silence all of a sudden because everybody's watching a video and then everybody's giggling.
Yeah.
Like the modern dinner table with every electronic
Yes.
device.
Everybody's over
Right.
there.
Say, back
Yeah,
on
I got a
RCs, have you guys had a car start on fire?
No,
Yes, at our event, at
No.
my event, at my house, yes, twice.
Okay,
my Kyosho Blizzard about. Go ahead.
lipo fire.
Well, my truck here just started on fire. I was showing it off a couple days ago, but I didn't have everything set up. And let's see if I can find it real quick. My battery, I took apart my 3-cell battery, and I used to have it coated in vinyl, and it was really nice. And I have it laying underneath my bed, and it gets some weight, towards the back of my truck. The only thing is the tape up on top wore through, and it shorted out against my frame. So it wasn't my electronics, but the paper started on fire. And that was exciting, right when I was showing it off in front of family and friends.
Exciting.
Oh, and I got to show you. I hope I can find it.
Now,
This is the post. I don't know if it's going to show it. It's discolored in the corner, but the bolt was glowing red. So, yeah, it was hot.
No, aren't you supposed to put lipo
Yeah,
fires
really
on
hot.
Lipo fires are easiest to be put out with sand, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At least it
Yeah,
wasn't my battery. At least it wasn't the cell itself.
Outside the home.
What was that exactly?
I put my batteries, lipos, outside the home because in front of my whole garage is on fire. He lost all his cars, all what he had in the garage. He loses.
I try to make sure mine is on a metal plate, just so
I
it won't start anything on fire.
And all the batteries outside of the home.
I was at
make
Harbor
a
Freight.
hole in the ground with a container, and there I put it in.
I was at Harbor Freight a while ago.
Yeah, the same thing. I got some 4
ammo
pieces.
cans.
Nice.
Yeah. And I put it outside.
That Dante, Steve Declark is saying, didn't you watch Tank's lipo safety video I just made a little while ago?
Right.
Those are great videos.
Yeah.
You can take it apart, but be very careful.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, of course.
I did. Well, before I bought this, I had my 2-cell, and I was trying to cut the end off, and I actually unwrapped it and cut each layer individually and made my 2-cell smaller. I did it successfully. The only problem is then I had the 2 cells different size, and because I broke the seal, I was worried it would just dry out and disintegrate. So then I started playing with it, and I took my Dremel to it, and then it caught on fire right away. But I was outside, so it wasn't a big problem.
Yeah, you have to do it outside. Huh? You have to do
Definitely.
it. I did it the next year also with the Lipo 2S, and no problems. But you have to be careful, and you always to do it outside the home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anytime
Because
you
I
try to,
shoot for the fun in one lipo that I got. It was not good, and I shoot it with a gun in for to see what happens, and yeah, that makes a lot of smoke.
Yeah, smells pretty bad.
yeah,
Mhm.
Chris had
Yeah,
a car.
once I get my axles put together, I want to do more with like skid plates and everything. I know I've showed off my main one. You know, I got a nice skid plate under there. I also got one for the back end that I'm going to redo here, just to keep
Yeah.
rocks from hooking on the back bumper. But I also want to do it on the front because this ridge right here, I get rocks stuck on,
oh,
and
yeah?
I want to try to make skid plate for that. It also looks nice. You know, it looks nice and clean when
Yeah, you
it's
see on
all.
my bumper here, since I got the same one basically, mine doesn't have that ridge. It just kind of is beveled down
Oh,
like
that's
that.
nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
it just bolts into the mount. I assume you have basically the same exact mount as I have.
Yep. The only problem is, you know, you still have the hook on the back. And actually, well, I made my own. I wanted my bumper a little lower to try to make my truck look a little lower. So I made aluminum back frame for
Just
it. You
like
really
this.
can't see it, but that adds an extra lip too. So
Yeah, let's see. What are you showing us there? I like that skid plate on the front
Yeah,
of
the
that.
friend of mine he make it for me for the
that looks
theory,
good. That looks mean.
and the sides also he make it on steel,
Okay,
and on the rear also.
nice.
And that's why he make a little thing for the trailer so I can put the rock
Oh,
in
yeah.
A muddy day is a
Receiver.
good day.
in steel. That's steel.
It's still, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of weight now.
I like that tire cover.
Tight to the body.
I do too. Looks good.
Yeah.
Do you still have this tire inside of that, or is just the cover and kind of hollow inside?
There's
Is
a
there a tire?
cover.
Is there a
Nice.
Yeah,
tire?
this is the tire. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
used a tire foam and a rim before without a tire. That works pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a tire foam, yeah.
Just a glue on rim with a tire foam.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, almost 10 years ago, I made these little pallets, even, you know, before I had my truck. And they're the coolest thing. I got 9 of them, and I build them up, and I can put them underneath my wheels when I'm building. So, like, when I was working on the suspension, it was really nice to lift my truck up. And I actually use them, which is kind of cool. You know, it gets the wheels out of the way, depending on which wheel I'm working on, or if I want to flip it over without having the weight on the engine or the wires. I can put them underneath the bumpers.
I have a ton of. Whenever I make videos about these jack stands, I get a bunch of people saying, you know, I'd never use that. It's more for show. I don't think I'd ever use that. But I tell you what, I use these jack stands a ton.
Mm.
Just
Oh, yeah.
being able to adjust them, I use these things all the time. I might use like the 6 tons more. These little 3 tons kind of fall over easily, but the 6 ton jack stands, I use those all the time when I'm working on stuff.
Yeah, that's what exactly what I was gonna say. Same thing with me. I bought them for show, but I use them all the time. Every time I'm working on something and even when I tilt my truck onto its side, I use this to hold the balance of it, like very easily. So they're very useful.
Yeah,
Just being able
take a
to
look at
have
this.
something adjustable is it's really nice for when you're working on things and you don't have to go searching around for wood blocks or whatever.
Yeah, and this is, you know, very sturdy as far as working on the, you know, bottom, which is suspension, what I've been working on. So that's what's cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hopefully there'll be an end. They're actually shingles.
Oh, okay.
For a house. I don't know what they're made out of, but I made a little table saw. I wish I had it, but
I think
little blade, like What were you saying?
I think a lot of times shingles are made out of cedar or redwood.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah, they are.
Okay, and they look like cedar. You know, they're kind of that cedar color.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's a little over 2 hours, so the RC Talk tonight was over 2 hours, which is pretty good. I'm going to say goodbye. We're going to stay on and chit-chat a little longer, but I'm going to cut the broadcast and stop the broadcast. Thank for all the people that actually showed up in the chat. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you guys next time here on RC Talk. And like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video, please. And we'll see you next week on RC Talk. Thanks, guys.